Welcome back to the session once again, and let's continue with the case study that we were doing yesterday about valuation using FCFF, free cash flow for the firm. So what we had done yesterday, we did the profitability computation, which was absolutely in order, not an issue at all. Then we also did the interest computation on the term loan, that is also perfectly in order, not an issue at all. And then we were looking at the computation of free cash flow for the firm and the present value of free cash flow. So as far as the computation of free cash flow is concerned, not an issue at all, but the present value of free cash flow for the firm, the discounting rate that we have to use is the weighted average cost of capital and not the cost of equity. So that is the correction that we need to make now. And yesterday when we were solving this case, we also computed the weighted average cost of capital. And that weighted average cost of capital that we computed, let me see if we computed or we were halfway through. So we computed, we were halfway through, and we were we computed the cost of debt and cost of equity. We were now at the stage of computing the weighted average cost of capital. And for weighted average cost of capital, so we computed the weighted average cost of capital also, and that was coming 11.23%. Right, very good. So having done all these steps, now what do we have to do? So the next thing now we have to do is we have to start finding out the present value of future cash flows for both the periods, for the explicit forecast period as well as for the terminal period. So those calculations have already been done. Now we only need to make a small corrections in those calculations, and that is what we will do now together. So are you with me? Are you able to see it on your result? Okay, very good. Thank you. Very good. So this 14.5% will become 11.23%. Right? Okay, very good. And for the discount factor, instead of 1.145, we will take 1123, 1.1123. Okay. So remaining also we'll have to do the same thing here. So again, I will make it 1123, and this becomes correct here. And then I would just simply drag it. So when I drag it, automatically I get my revised discount factors. And when I get my revised discount factor, so by default, since that was the only number that we needed to change, we have got the present value discount factor. Now we will have to check once again whether our figure of free cash flow for the terminal period is right. So that's where again we'll have to make a small correction. I'm sure you will be able to figure it out. Bowman sir, are you able to follow it? Bowman sir?
Yes sir, no problem.
Right, because you will remember for computing free cash flow for the terminal period, we need to use the Gordon growth model. And what is Gordon growth model? And that is, you take the cash flow of the last year of the explicit forecast period, multiply that with your growth rate, that is 6%, so that becomes 1.06, and capitalize it by dividing it by the amount of difference between the cost of capital, which is 0.1123, and minus the growth rate, which is 0.6. And that is what I have done here, and that is how I am getting the figure of 9085. Now before I move forward, I would urge all of you to please check whether you are also getting the 9085 or not by using the formula, so that we all are on the same page.
Yes.